Greetings, folks. Steve here, and this is an episode you guys don't want to miss. A lot of people have been asking for this for a long time, and the day has finally come. Old Goldie's going on the dyno today. Let's see what kind of power this thing puts out. So we are off, me and the Z, to Evolution Dynamics. This is a shop that specializes in Mitsubishi Evos, and Brandon, the owner of the shop I work at, is buddies with Kevin, who owns Evo D. So he's letting us come up here and meet him on a weekend after hours to put Goldie on the dyno. It is an all-wheel drive dyno jet, I think. And we're going to see what old Goldie does. I don't plan to do much tuning on it, really. The car is about as fast as I think it can be with the current fuel system and the current turbo. I might try to play with the timing a little bit, but I'm really just excited to see the power curve on the graph and kind of figure out where the best, most optimal place to be shifting the car is, because we've kind of just been going by feel up to this point. So I'll see you guys in Louisville at Evolution Dynamics. Boys, we're here at Evo D. You can see a whole bunch of Evos behind me. Evos is all this man does. And we got the Z rolled up on the dyno. I'm gonna grab my laptop, put some cameras on it, and we'll get started here. I'm getting excited, dude. She's never been on rollers before, except the old emissions ones, like Quick Car.
All right, so now let's roll it.
Okay, so just put it in gear and let it roll a little bit.
Let it roll and it'll even itself out.
Here, dude, hold this. You don't gotta point it at anything. It sees everything.
It's on me, dude.
Wide lens. I'll see you if you pick your nose, dude, no matter where you're pointing. We're here at Steve's car.
You're gonna find that probably one side is gonna be super tight and the other side's gonna be loose.
Both super tight up here.
Okay.
Let me kick these fans on.
Yep. So hard. We gotta strap this car down more.
Yeah, we do. Okay.
Felt like I was gonna pop a wheelie, dude.
Well, I thought you were gonna pop a tire for sure.
Really? Was it smoking?
Oh yeah, it's
I thought I saw a little smoke.
I can feel it, Brandon.
Look at you them views, Steve.
Yeah, give me them. Hey, if something happens, I don't want you to miss it, okay? If I go flying off this thing and smash into 3 Evos, might as well at least have it on film for everyone else to enjoy. So it turns out Goldie's too powerful for this dyno.
No, I didn't strap it down. I was underestimating her power.
Max 208.
208, dude!
Max torque 320.
Whoa!
But you weren't into it. Like you were straight up rubbing that metal, dude.
Yeah. Whoa, boys, 208.
Hey,
New dyno record. All right, we're gonna bump up the tire pressures a little bit because
the contact patch is so small, it's just squishing out the tire. What was that one at? Mine was at like 14 over here. 14. That's race mode, dude. That's that yellow belly tire pressure. Dude, it's not looking good. Yeah, it just says sell it on you. I don't know what that means, dude. No, I gotta read it. I think he's trying to scale it up to make it look nice. I'm pretty sure I read 350 horsepower for something torque. Like, you got high torque, dude.
Doesn't make any sense.
More torque than horsepower? That's
Wow.
like that much more torque than, like, what is it, the tractor, dude? Like,
I mean, torque is what makes it fast, I guess. So I'm surprised the horsepower is not matching the torque better. It seems weird for them to be so far apart, right?
Fucking tractor.
monster. Yeah, 347. 468. This thing's a tractor, dude. I'm telling you. Should be mowing lawns with this thing, dude.
All right, we'll give her a little cool down and then maybe try one more with a little more timing. I don't see much point in changing a whole lot at this point. All right, so a couple pulls in, we're seeing around like 340 horsepower and like 4 something torque, which I don't think is right. The torque is significantly higher than the horsepower, so we actually just added the ignition, the RPM input to the system. I think that's going to bring the torque numbers down a lot closer to reality, but I think the horsepower kind of is what it is. We're seeing around 340, 350 at the wheels, so that's a little lower than I hoped for, but it's kind of what I expected. So anyway, we're letting her cool down. She got pretty hot on that last pass. I did turn up the timing a fair amount, so we'll see if we have any issues there, or if it makes a little bit more power or what it does. But that's the plan right now, and then I think I'm going to be done after that. One more pull. It just feels really hard on the car to do this, so we'll do one more pull and see what it does, and then we'll probably throw my boy Matthew's Corvette up there if he's not afraid of all how sketchy it is watching the Z do it. It's honestly it's a little unnerving, especially in the shop, so crowded. There's so much crap around you, and you're elevated up on this lift, and the car moves a lot, dude. It shakes a lot. It pulls all crazy when you get into power. Like it feels out of control. Same thing?
Now, torque matches horsepower.
Oh, the torque went down? Yeah, I thought it might. Well, now we got a good reading anyway. All right, so let's take a look at this dyno graph together here. We got max power, 354 at 5,300 RPMs. Max torque, 352 at 5,200 RPMs. You can see our max power and max torque all occur pretty much in the same exact spot. and everything around it kind of sucks. So what you would hope to see, obviously, is that the torque would shoot up pretty quick, hold up high, horsepower would come in a little later, and hold up high as the torque kind of tapers off. So, you know, you have the horsepower and torque kind of spread evenly over a large power band. It's pretty disadvantageous to see a graph this shape when you're running a 3-speed automatic, because really you're going to spend most of your time not at this peak. Kevin at Evo D did have some interesting insight regarding shift points. He's got a software program that I think he may have helped develop, or at least something he utilizes with his customers to determine the best shift points. It's kind of like an Excel spreadsheet looking deal. I'm not really sure how it all works, but you take your gear ratios and you take your numbers off of the dyno, and you can kind of figure out what the best time to shift is. Ideally, you'd run this 354 horsepower and torque everywhere when you're up in the power, but that's not how it works. So we have a big drop off here, and it comes up pretty hard. So ideally, you kind of want to split the difference, right? So you don't want to shift at the peak, because then the RPMs are going to drop down in the next gear way down here, which, I mean, what's that? 250 torque, 250 horsepower, pretty much the same. So if you shifted at the peak, you'd end up going way down here in like the 250 range. So what you'd want to do is shift after the peak some amount, but not too much. If you shift too late, then you're going to downshift and be in the power, but then you're going to spend all this time down here. So you kind of want to split the difference here, shift a little shift a little late, so when it drops down, it stays kind of between these points here. Now I'm gonna have to look at some data logs and figure out how much RPM drops during the shifts of the car. But what Kevin did tell me, just looking at my gear ratios, is that in second gear, the car makes more power even at 7,000 RPM. Okay, well, we didn't go to 7 because it was dropping off. So even at 6,500 RPM, the car's still making more torque than it does at any point in third gear. So through gear reduction, we're going to see the highest torque in first gear, you're going to see less torque in second, and you're going to see the least amount of torque in your highest gear. So Kevin's telling me, I've told Kevin I've been shifting at 6,000. That's what we've been doing, and that's been working out pretty good. He tells me I should try shifting a little later than that, because even at the highest point of second gear, we're still making more power than we are at any point in third gear. So his suggestion is to shift a little bit later with that in mind. But, you know, I don't know. I'm not really sure if this is an exact science that he's preaching, because in my mind, shifting way up here drops the RPMs down here, and that means we're spending 0% of third gear with our peak. Like, we need to utilize this, I would think. So, I don't know. I'm taking his suggestions with a grain of salt. But it was just something to consider and something to try. So it's something that we'll give a shot. But yeah, so these are the numbers. This is what she did. A lot of people say Kevin's dyno is a heartbreaker. I gotta say, this is kind of what I expected. Every L28 dyno graph I've ever seen is a mountain. They always seem to have this mountain. I don't know what the drop-off is caused by. That's up for speculation, because the car is running at 22 pounds of boost all the way down here through this whole thing. So why the torque is dropping off could be a cause of multiple things, or any number of things. So exhaust restrictions, such as too small of a turbine housing on the turbo, could cause this. Also restrictive exhaust, which the Z doesn't really have any exhaust, so you can pretty much check that off the list. Valve springs, getting a little bit of valve float at higher RPMs, so the valves just aren't able to remain timed correctly. They start to get a little slow and not keep up with the revolutions. That could cause a big layover. That's kind of what I always thought, but this does have, Goldie does have upgraded springs. So I don't know if that's plausible or not. We do have an upgraded camshaft. It's not a crazy one, but it's cammed. And so really, like, what I think it boils down to is we're just out of turbo. We already can't make any more boost with it. And that's probably just because of a big exhaust restriction. And that's probably why we're laying over. So perhaps a bigger turbo would give us a little bit better results to try to keep this, carry it out a little bit further. But anyway, that's what it is. So in conclusion, a little disappointed I didn't see some impressive, exciting number that I could brag about to everybody, but it's kind of in the realm of what I thought we were going to see, with accounting like a 15 or 20% driveline loss through the transmission, torque converter, and the rear end, you know, that puts the car a bit over 400, you know, maybe 420, 430 horsepower. And, you know, that's not bad. That's pretty good power for this little engine that I've done really very little to. But that's going to do it for this week. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Like and subscribe.